Good afternoon and welcome to Pickett, Wisconsin on the 18th day of May. I believe today is May 18th. It is a cloudy, overcast, and potentially rainy day. So I'm hoping to get in a few runs before any rain showers come in, but it's 66 degrees and really pretty windy. Not the best conditions to be running an engine, but I'm going to try it anyway. So on the stand today, as the title says, this is a continuation of swamp juice testing that Garrett and I are doing. On the stand today is a Super Tiger G61 ringed engine. And this is an engine that I've had for a while. It was given to me, and I look back at my videos, and I think back in December of last year I replaced bearings in this with Boca bearings. So it's been cleaned up, it's got new bearings in it, but it has not been run yet. Hasn't been run on glow fuel or any kind of fuel. So today I'm actually going to be just starting it out on swamp juice fuel. And the purpose of today's video is to do this, is we're going to start going to different engines, testing this fuel, and I'm going to be testing different plugs to see if I can find plugs that operate better or worse than others, or some at all, maybe none at all, I don't know. So this is all just kind of investigative work to see how swamp juice works on smaller engines and a wider variety of engines, because that's obviously what the goal is to have this fuel work on any type of engine with a couple of different types of glow plugs. So the plug I've got in here today is an OS A3 or a number 6 plug. That's what I'm going to start with. I've got an APC 12.6 prop on here. I will not be changing props. The only thing I'll be changing potentially if necessary is, well, not if necessary, I will be changing glow plugs. I will be testing different glow plugs. I'll test this A3. I may try a Fox RC short plug. I'm sure I've got one of those, I'm pretty sure. And if nothing else, an Enya number 3 plug. So that's the parameters for today's run of this engine. It's looking pretty dark out there, so let me get going with it. Okay, we're rolling on both cameras. Swamp juice fuel 12.6 prop A3 plug. Let's prime it. Again, this engine hasn't seen fuel, so I'm going to prime it pretty heavily. And I know this thing is probably going to want to fly off, so let's secure it that way. just testing the throttle stop screw position. I didn't go to the stop yet. Okay, so let's see, I'm way off the throttle stop position there. It would appear that it was still a little rich. I don't know with this fuel if I want to try and lean this low speed up a little bit. I'm going to go a quarter turn lower and leaner and see what kind of effect that has. And I actually think I want to raise this or close this up some more so that my throttle is not quite going so closed. So maybe right there, and maybe it would be fine. I would be happy with like a 3500 consistent RPM that can sit there and then transition without faltering out. That's kind of what I'm shooting for, but I don't know if that's possible. This is all experiments. So apparently that was either too closed or something. Just let it die there. Okay, we'll see if that, see what that does. It's pretty open. So I got the throttle stop screw closed too much, or open, yeah, closed too much. Okay, so yeah, that's just, that throttle stop screw position is not right now. And when I leaned it out, or when I changed this, I think I changed the dynamics of the high speed. I just leaned the high speed one click. I changed the throttle stop position a hair again. Maybe I shouldn't have messed with the throttle stop screw at all, I don't know. Okay, so I'm not sure, doesn't seem excessively hot. I'm not sure what I did other than I'm going to undo the leaning of that low speed by quarter turn. So I richened the quarter or the low speed back to where it was initially because it seemed like it just kind of got worse that time. So we'll see what happens here now. Okay, remember those numbers. I am going to pause here and change to a different plug. That's probably about as good as I can get it. I can probably open this up just a hair more to let that low speed go down a little bit more. That's probably about all I've got there. So the tuning is fairly good right now for this plug. I'm going to put an Enya No. 3 plug in there real quick. Okay, Enya No. 3 plug installed. Let me get my nice starter here. Let's prime this maybe. And give it a go with this. Okay, I don't care for that. So the last time I did the A3 Enya plug thing was on the Magnum 108 engine, and I saw similar things where the Enya No. 3 gave a lower peak RPM, but it seemed like it idled better. But this was definitely not idling ideally right now, so maybe it's because, although I like that throttle stop setting. Maybe it just wants 4,000 RPM. Let's give that a shot. Oh shit. I'm gonna tighten this thing up a little bit here. I hate to put too much torque on those things because this is not the most robust of stands, I'm finding. Okay, so with this fuel, I don't know, I don't really know what that tells me. I don't know if that tells me it's too rich, too low of an idle speed for the fuel and prop and plug combination, or what. I'm still really learning here what this all means now. It's a totally different thing. I need to throttle that back a little bit. Now see, that little test tells me that it's lean, or I mean too rich. But Garrett says this thing likes to be richer. killed it on purpose there. I am going to see if I can find a Fox plug of some sort to try in here. Okay, I know I'm getting kind of low on fuel in here, but I think I've got plenty. I've got a Fox RC short plug in here now. That's interesting. It looks like I'm seeing fuel spitting out of the carb. That's really bizarre. Now, I have seen in the past on certain engines, sometimes certain engines really love the Fox RC short, and then others just do that, and they seem to just absolutely hate it. So maybe this is that case. Oops. Oops, wrong way. Okay, I think I've seen enough with that plug. I don't know of any other plugs to try that I've got, so I think we're just gonna call this a wrap with this. Okay, so I think that's gonna wrap it up today. I still got plenty of fuel in there. So Super Tiger G61 ringed engine, 12.6 APC prop, 3 different plugs. The A3 still seemed like the better plug for peak RPM. The Enya plug was about 400 to 500 RPM lower, maybe 350, 400 RPM lower on the peak end. Didn't seem to idle any better. I mean, this didn't. The A3 plug seemed like the better plug on this engine. The Fox RC short was a complete dud. I don't know why. It's got a nice bright element. Not sure why that would be the case, but like I said, some engines really like those plugs and some just really don't. I don't have any Super Tiger plugs. I had an OS number 8 I could have tried, but I think I've done enough for today. I've got some other things that I need to take care of, but I don't know. I can't say that I'm like super thrilled with the results that I saw with this engine and fuel and those plug combinations. Maybe I need to put a smaller prop on here. I don't know. 12.6 is typically a pretty good standard size prop for 60 size engines. But even the 10,500 or whatever I saw as a peak with the A3 plug seemed to be a little low for a 61 size engine with this prop, in my opinion. But I don't recall off the top of my head what it should turn. But anyway, so Garrett, I hope at least you get some information from this, and just Garrett, so you know, I did not use any more of this fuel. This is still the same fuel that I used the last time, and only you and I will understand what that means. So anyway, there's our run for today.